are tied up 1-1. We have a series on our hands, G-Clap.
Yes, we do. I love a series like this. Like, GG had a great comeback in game number 2. I think they have a chance. They actually have a great chance of coming back now.
Look, I mean, if Miracle was at the finals of World Championship in China for Gold Series, and then they lose to Mighty, but then GG beats Mighty. Does it mean that like all the teams are really even in skill and
is
that
it becoming a triangle again?
I mean,
we might actually have that later
it could
on.
happen, but it's exciting to see that like the teams that in Korea are considered the most dominant. Teams are catching up. They're getting there. Now, obviously, the roster change you mentioned is important to note. It's not the same Miracle that we saw in China, but still, I mean, we're at this point where teams in leagues are dropping games that they maybe would have not have done in the previous format that we had, of course, in Super League.
Yeah, before we had that triangle to sort of say to explain on that, like before Tempest was really strong against Black. Black was super strong against L5 before the other teams, and TNL was really strong against Tempest. So teams were, and the style of the teams were countering each other a lot. We might actually see that again in this league. Let's see what happens then. Looks like map number 3 is going to be on Dragonshire.
Dragonshire, emphasis on the drag. We may actually see Dahaka here again.
Nice.
And this is GG's map pick. So this is something that they might even grab in first rotation. With how well it went for them last game, I think it would not be out of the question. And I wonder if Mighty is going to stick with this rag, into the variant, because it seems quite strong, but it feels like it's unnecessarily prioritized. Like they're putting it really high in the draft.
Variant is important, and it is in the meta, especially the Korean meta right now, and into the HGC Korea. We have seen a lot of Variant, but is it worth it to pick him in the second or first slot, right? Like just like that. They're opening Falset again. Let's see if Might actually takes Falset this time.
I think you absolutely have to. Oh man, they just really don't want it. Gonna leave it again. It's just so powerful here, and
well, if it doesn't fit their style and they can work around it, they did game 1. But game 2 did not turn out to be like that. But still, Ragnarok is very strong. But Sands did get caught because Rag, of course, does not have the most.
He doesn't have any escapes.
Mobility,
yeah.
Yes.
Well, this leaves the potential Falstad Malfurion pickup for good game. That's really the strongest they've got, and that's what it's going to be.
And we're going to have Jaehyun on Malfurion again. He has been very crisp on them, especially on the first game.
All right, for Mighty now, I have a feeling we're going to see Variant, even though I don't feel like we have to. This is the first time Zeratul has been available in this series as well. It's been banned by Mighty quite a bit. They may take Variant and Zeratul because Variant's one of the counters to Zeratul, and they could build a composition around that.
I think Jokun can just switch up. ETC is available, and he has been doing so great within the last few days with ETC. He can just go ahead and just switch the channel and take that ETC instead, because he was the only one in the front line. I feel like he was being a little bit too pressured to go into that taunt. If it was taunting like a Vala DPS, himself would get into the danger zone, and he was a little bit afraid, and he ended up taunting like ETC from the other team or the Haka. It did not work out too great, and then there goes the ETC.
They also show that priority that SDE has been loving the Tychus. We're seeing it a lot in this tournament. Mighty's most highly prioritized range damage, even over Falstad in many cases, including this one as they take Rag and allow GG to take that. The ban here for GG could simply just be on Karazim. It would not shock me to see that, and that would allow them to go into the Dahaka pick if they want that as well. So I like the Karazim ban here. Otherwise, there's no really strong ban right now for good game.
I think Karazim ban will start to come out as they go towards, especially against like Mary Day on MVP Black or even Hyde on Tempest. Those players are making so many changes during the team fight, and they actually go ahead and ban Rengar because I don't think Nasang has been playing too much of a Karazim
That's
compared
true.
to Nasang has been playing so well today, especially with Regar. So
Yep. Seems
That's a
just
smart
to be
ban.
a target towards Nasang's play here. We've been seeing, again, and especially in game number 1, he looked really good. Game 2 is like not bad, but game number 1 was really impressive. Mighty, the ban here could honestly, Dahaka could draw a ban here. It's not. There we go. I was gonna say it's not out of the question that they just simply saw how well Good played it, and it's just possibly Dahaka's best map too with how it operates because he could squat as well on the shrines. So there's so much he could do here, and I like that ban.
and basically giving out 2 global is, of course, it's not a good idea against. Well, and Mighty has ETC now. There's a potential stage dive at 10, and GG already took Malfurion, so Breadwing is out of the question. Feel like we need more global heroes now, since we only have 4 or 5-ish, I guess.
Yeah, they're just so powerful. Lucio is going to be like basically global.
Oh man.
I can't
Drop
wait
it
until
down.
that. I can't wait until that Zarya spot gets replaced by Lucio next month.
Lucio looks super fun, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure he's going to be my like only hero I ever play. I'm only going to quick match Q in Lucio the entire time.
And get 4 supports on your team.
My Q is going to be bumping. G-Clef. All right, here we
Sounds
go.
about right. And Hooligan on that Muradin looks really nice on that. And Sergeant Hammer, a little bit surprising.
We've seen a lot of Sergeant Hammer paired with Falstad on this map because of the pressure in the tri-lane that she can give. You can get a structural advantage, and you kind of always win the macro from the beginning if you can get that bot structure. And sometimes mid, but usually bot, while Falstad pushes top. It's very powerful. Mighty, at this point, they have, a question to answer is, do we want Li Ming here? We've been seeing a lot of the Tychus Li Ming from this team, and I think that's what they're going to be looking for here once again. And then the question becomes, are they going to take Karzi? Are they going to try to do something a little bit unusual? We saw Morales yesterday. I don't think it's going to be in this draft. They could potentially take Brightwing with a more roaming-oriented hero to try to get ganks because they have ETC. They could just kind of be a ganking comp. Well, I think this is going to be Karzi Li Ming. Ooh, Ariel Gul'dan. That is not inconsistent with how Mighty's been playing in this tournament so far. They're going to try this out for the first time.
I think they may have actually said that ETC is not the most tanky hero in the front line. Of course, Joker is really good on that ETC, but once he is also hooked in, there's the last pick, Artanis, coming out from GG. Few surprising picks at the end, but Ariel does save your team with that Aegis super well. He can Aegis the Tychus or Gul'dan into the game, so we'll see what happens in game number 3.
That we will. The winner of this team will take that match point advantage, G-Clef, as we go into Dragonshire Mighty versus GG here in HGC Korea. It's going to be a good series. It's going to near its end after this game, but let's go into Dragonshire to see who is going into match point. Welcome to Dragonshire. Joker on ETC, Sands on Ragnaros, Magi on Tychus, Nasong on Oriole, and SDE on Gul'dan. That is Team Mighty on blue side.
And in red, Team GG, BDG on Falstad, Jaehyun on Malfurion, Good on Artanis, Hooligan on Muradin, Wujay on Sergeant Hammer this time.
So of all games played, including the qualifiers for HGC Korea, I thought we're going to have a little bit of scrimmage here. Hooligan is DED dead, or is he? Nearly. Probably will if...
DED?
Yeah, DED. Dead, man. Not DEAD, he's DED. That's why he survived.
Alright, that's new English I have to pick up. But
Joker
still,
really wanted
Joker
it.
really wants to be aggressive here, going around.
Anyway, as I was saying before, they tried to get that kill and almost did, and ETC is the best early game hero for ganks and kills, especially at level 1. Artanis has a abysmal win rate. He's 5 and 16 currently That means he's been played in a lot of games as SD nearly goes down here. And Hooligan is going to take some damage, we'll get away, but 5 and 16. That means he's been played in 21 games and has a horrible win rate. And I just feel like he shouldn't be used in most of these cases, and I don't think he's actually very strong right now. He can look strong if you get the amazing phase prism, but we don't see very many of those in this region. And not a big fan of the pick, to be honest.
Yeah, that can be said. And as ETC can just roam so easily, so quickly. The GG actually started to roam first instead. It did not work so perfectly as their health were a little too low from the beginning of the fight. But looks like GG's catching up to that macro, and ETC still just roaming around the map. I think Mighty did get that control because GG could not get the kill.
Similar to Chen, Artanis is very good at shrine squatting because he could basically 1v1 almost any hero because of his shields and buy time. Chen just sits there and drinks brew, so it's a very similar kind of situation. So in terms of the solo lane, he's very strong to hold on to the shrines. He actually will relinquish control here temporarily, though, to Sands.
Just maybe go around.
Oh, he actually walked pretty far here. BDG wants this kill. Hooligan's going to come in for the body block. Sands with no escape here.
Joker comes in and saves the day, but actually is blocked by Good pretty well. Sands looks like he is going to be saved. What a save by Joker, literally just saving all of his teammates. This is what happens if you let Joker on ETC.
So Joker is like types in chat, he's like not Ketty, and everyone's like Injong. Injong. I probably shouldn't make language jokes on stream, but anyway.
And Nasang does get caught, gets rooted. Looks like there's going to be enough damage, then that is the first kill, first blood going to GG.
Must have been on cooldown for the heal there, as
and
he
Ariel,
had so much hope.
Ariel used to be one of the top tier, close to tier 1 hero, and the reason why Ariel kept on going down, and even with Vala we don't see Ariel that much, sometimes banned, sometimes actually used, but not 100% prioritized, because Ariel does not have escape and there is no cleanse. That's one of the biggest parts.
She has like a soft escape, but it's just not consistent. And that's of course her detainment strike is what I'm referring to. She knocks people away. But yeah, getting caught there. Definitely had heal on cooldown, I suppose, because didn't use it there on herself to survive. She had a lot of hope though, so it's a bit strange. Like I almost wonder if she just thought she was going to get out or just press a button too early, too late. It was a little bit weird there, the interaction we saw. But this is a channel attempt here for good game. Hooligan going to tank some damage. Sands pushing the lane. We will get the top, so it will be denied. And SDE is going to do a ton of damage to Ujay there, so will be killed. BDG coming up. They're going to try to get the gank on Sands. There's the stun. Doesn't matter. Misses the prism. Don't see very many prisms hit. See a lot of misses.
I think Sands is actually being very safe today. He could have died a few times. Well, Joker did came and saved the day of Sands, but it looks like GG's gonna commit a lot harder on this rooted, and Sands in danger. Finally, good prism to catch him. Joker has a lot of HP, so not gonna go down too far, but finally Sands does go down at the end.
Yeah, and look, I mean, this has been some really aggressive play against Sands. Sands and Modern Life, two players that have been playing almost nothing but Rag in this tournament, and they've both been, pretty consistently ganked. Oh man, Nasong is a dead Oriole here. Magi as well, doesn't even have enough mana to dash. He's gonna go down, and GG has taken complete control of this game, and I worry now for Mighty, as now there's a siege tank push on these towers. This is the bot lane push I was talking about. You get a small lead in this lane and just start to do a ton of damage.
I love how GG is actually rotating so well, as Joker is also doing. Hooligan, I've been highlighting on Joker a lot, but Hooligan also rotating with his team. They've been making this exact same changes that Good does miss on the prism.
They actually control the waves so well there. Notice that even Hooligan was tanking the minions to make sure bot lane was pushed, and they get the Dragon Knight as a result. They had already the kills before, but they basically just took extra measures to make sure they get this Dragon Knight. They need to use it well. Mid already has no cannon tower, so that's going to be the target here as the kick on the Magi, the knock down the Ceiling Fountain, and then rotate away. So just going to try to out-rotate Mighty at this point in time as they clear this wave. Moving to the bot, which is already heavily damaged in terms of its wall, as we mentioned before, because VJ was hitting on it. And this wall will give GG level 10.
Every time you say GG, it feels like the game is already over, but still.
In this game, it may very well be if this continues.
Well, it's not over yet, and BDG on that Dragon Knight is gonna go. And they just hit level 10. This is their chance. They can... I actually thought they were gonna go a little bit more aggressive, but Artanis is way too pushed on top, and they're not gonna go too deep here. They're just gonna take their own camp, just create... If that top lane was actually pushed for GG, then I think they had a good chance of invading because they have their heroics and Mighty does not.
Yeah. Not going to happen in this case, though. They're just going to play it a little bit safer. They already got a lot of value out of this Dragon Knight, so not going to get anything forced here. Nice detainment strike there by Nasong, but his healing will not be enough. They just barely get 10 in time to get Aegis. SDE tries to heal himself up. He actually will survive here. Incredible. Joker coming in as well, forcing Hooligan back. Sands rotates down. Could actually sulfuric smash. Looks like he already did. He's not going to be able to get the stun here to catch anybody, but a close call. The problem with this 5-man for Mighty is that they're losing EXP. They're going to lose a top wave very likely here. Artanis is getting free mid-soak, and he's going to be able to come up top and clear the rest of that. So a bit unfortunate here for Mighty. They turned that fight around, but they didn't get any kills, and they had 5. Missing EXP is so unfortunate. Sands actually looks like he's having some trouble deciding whether he's going to go to the top or come down to fight. Decides to go to the top, so they don't miss too much of that wave. He's going to keep that lane pushed. But this means that he's actually very vulnerable to ganking at this point in time.
Yeah, but they know a lot of GGs are staying at the bottom, so Sands is gonna... Looks like he decides to come down now that their fort is actually getting punished for that. Because he could have come down a long time ago and Molten Core is available, I'm pretty sure, and Joker does get caught from coming side. Gust is used just to disengage. Sands actually also maybe caught from this, and it's great smash to disengage BDG.
Sands should not have come in here. Definitely should have just waited for the next wave to spawn. He pushed that lane super hard, which didn't do him any favors. Hooligan is just going to back off and let his trait heal him back up. Good. Doesn't actually toss down a prism there. Actually dies. I'm not entirely sure what the idea with that one was.
Maybe something's wrong in his keyboard. I think he pressed the E a little late. And Hooligan comes from the side. Great Aegis to save Magi at the moment. And stage dive right in. But Tychus is gone. They have barely any damage. Gul'dan is the only one.
Joker going to try to get the kill here, but getting the missing damage, as you mentioned, is a big problem here. SDE is full of mana, so he's just going to try to carry this fight alone. But unfortunately, Gul'dan's not the type of hero to do that. If it were Li Ming, probably would have been a whole different fight. But in this case with Gul'dan, not so much. Sands is just going to have to do his walk of shame back up here after that rotation down to take this. He's going to have a wave of minions to take as well. They will be able to channel. Falstad will need to fly if they're going to prevent this. In fact, they do not. So, going to be a free Dragon Knight, surprisingly so, for Mighty.
I also think GG's...
He had flight too!
Yeah, I also think GG's not using the flight perfectly. He could have stayed on the top lane instead of Artanis. I know the matchup is pretty tough against Ragnaros, but still, having that flight just creates pressure for entire Mighty, and they have to check, is the flight available, or where is Falstad? They have to consistently talk on that, but they're not. I don't think they're using it too perfectly, and Joker is going to be out of DK very soon, and he does.
Okay, well, they accomplished almost nothing with this Dragon Knight. They got a wall, whereas GG was able to get basically 2 because of the pressure they had and damage that fort at the bottom very significantly. A little bit of damage done to the fort during this as well, so they got that. I mean, it was very light, but you could see the bottom fort a little bit hurt. Well, there's some cracks in it.
But Mighty did catch up in level a lot, so they have equal talent right now. So and none of the forts are down actually. So this game looks like it's gonna go for a longer time than it actually usually does. It's already 10 minutes, and all the forts keeps safely, not safely. It looks like almost the first one is about to go down.
I'm like, you better say it fast, G-Clef. Like,
yeah.
You're like, all the forts are alive. I'm like, oh, you said it too slow. The fort died. But yeah, it's a close game. But GG had a strong lead at the beginning. That lack of flight or any sort of denial on the Dragon Knight was a bit It wasn't good.
And now they're having false set on top when ETC has stage dive. I don't think they should have used that before they had stage dive. That could have been their chance to actually pressure them before 10. But now it's just even, and first false set is actually slower on that joining the team fight if it actually breaks out on the bottom. They're actually going to look for a kill. Joker smells the danger, but it's stunned and booted. No way to escape.
Yeah, that danger was stinky, man. It was a bad smell with how that worked out. It didn't in Joker's case. I feel like Joker is not playing the series of his life today. His variant play was mixed. I want to give mixed reviews, and he has been caught a few times already in this game. Nasong caught alone here, unfortunately. Hooligan wants to get the stun onto SDE here. Sands is long dead. They're just going to be content with that. They're not going to actually overcommit to try to get more picks, but this could potentially be a Dragon Knight if BDG has flight. I'm not entirely sure if he does, to be honest, but if he did, this could have been a Dragon Knight for GG. And Hooligan is going to go up and take this alone, so probably had flight on cooldown. It's a 4-man rotation up, though, to get Hooligan off of the shrine. So
I don't think they just realized that they are channeling the Dragon Knight, and BDG does get Dragon Knight, but it's gonna find Hooligan in dangerous situation. He is cleansed, but he still has some HP, so he does get out safely. But Dragon Knight is already attacking this fort. What are they gonna do? Mighty has to force. They're forced to rotate down, and they're losing a lot of time because of this.
Yeah. They do take the fast lane past the Merc cap to get in here, as SDE does get
Prism swaps SDE. Age saves the day, but still. Let's see.
All right, well, Sands does keep this fort alive and blows up Sergeant Hammer as well. Oopsie daisy there, but
well, the smash was pretty good on that Sergeant Hammer. And Ragnaros, this is why Ragnaros is still so strong.
I mean, he's just so strong, and we've seen Mighty prioritize him over everything, including globals.
Yeah, first pick for the entire 3 games.
And
today.
Sands has such a large hero pool that you know this is not just because he likes the hero, it's because they think the hero is first pick material. On GG's side, they don't have any tool like that to protect this fort, so it will go down. And Sands was soaking top during all of this, so that pick onto Hammer got them a fort, essentially, without Dragon Knight. They did more just now without the Dragon Knight than GG was able to do with theirs. So Sands here needs to be careful about overextending. Sergeant Hammer is coming back. BDG does gust here. We're going to see a Horrify onto good, but it's not enough to get the kill. Unfortunately, he went bot and not up. If he had gone top, I might have gotten a grab there on him.
It's really hard to actually hit that because the range is not so long, but exactly, and here, hold that thought, a fight goes on, and Magi is caught a little bit, but Aegis saves the day again. Great smash onto Jaeon and BDG. They're forced out of the fight. Good, he's gone. Hooligan, they're basically just tanking without no damage from the back line. What a great smash right there.
That smash was massive. They got so smashed right there. Barely Malfurion gets his Q off. He had such a short amount of time, or that he was on cooldown. He had like such a short time to live. He barely got that in time, so at least he survived. He nearly died as well. I feel like GG with any other tank besides Artanis would be in a much better position than they are now. And they had such a great lead, and they were really controlling the game. They had globals. They let that first Dragon Knight go in mid, and things have kind of been falling apart, I feel, since then, especially in terms of their team fighting.
And of course, as I mentioned, if they had Falset on top from the beginning, I'm pretty sure they had another way of doing it. So that's why they didn't put Falset. It is very common to have Falset in the solo lane, so Falset can fly over and Ragnaros can't. They had Artanis on that top lane, just so that he can control that top shrine, and Sands would find himself in danger zone again.
He wastes Sulfuric as well.
A lot.
Oh boy. Well, BDG gets the gust off here with Sands being gone, even with the Dragon Knight active. This is not going to be a good Dragon Knight, I'd say, very likely here. Hooligan's going to come back in to try to get the grab on the Nasong. Nasong needs to be very careful. The Dragon Knight is kind of tanking enough here, though, to where even though this is a 5v4 situation, it's not going to be too risky, because getting on top of Nasong would be very difficult. SDE could just kick anyone away who actually comes in. see a very early Aegis here onto Magi.
I think it's early ages because Magi is there. Other than SD on Dragon Knight is the only damage at the moment. So 4v4 here, and GG really did a great job stalling time. I think Nasang bringing on that Aegis at the exact times is saving his team.
Not entirely sure how Ujay died, to be honest. Actually, thought he was alive, but he wasn't doing any damage. I'm like, no, I guess he's dead. He must have died off screen, but that was not a 5v4. In fact, it was a 4v4, and they lost that extra ranged poke that Hammer has with Napalm, and of course the auto attack build she chose here. So did not defend that as well as I thought they would, but they keep their keep alive. And Mighty gets 20 off of this. So this game has turned around completely. Mighty's now massively ahead. They have this huge talent tier advantage. They have Storm talents. Really, most importantly, is ETCs, because with his ability to Bolt or Storm Shield, he could actually just end the game.
I think Joker, even though he's not playing his best at the moment, but coming in stage diving at the right place at the right time whenever the team is needed, he's making some great changes, and it is forcing the zone that they have to evade. So GG's out of this, it just dispositions the entire team of GG, and whenever Good uses Pulse, that's the time when Tygus is blinded, and that's the time for them to go in. But Stage Dive makes that all just cancelled in a way, and yeah. I think he's doing a great job.
Okay, Sans actually took the upgraded Molten Core. He's going to kill this keep, and he's going to take over it immediately, as you can see here. This could actually be game if they get anybody else, as Sans is so powerful right now as he's upgraded this trait. Look at how much damage it does, even to the wall over there. And
GG's just stalling time because it does have a time limit on it as his health is going down. And Sans actually might be in trouble, but GG's not 20 yet, so they're not going to commit to this.
GG really reacted well to that. That was a really good reaction. That could have been disastrous if anybody died. There's a good Prism, but see if Joker can escape. He does go ahead and click Bolt here to try to get out. He uses it too, and it might have been a waste.
He's not booted, I think. That boot could have been, and then Horrify comes in. Artanis is in danger, very low. He does almost goes down, but Gus barely saves him and dashes away from that Surfer Smash. And on the left side, Magi is in danger. Good, barely safe, but the entire GG just spread apart. Great job by both teams. What a play.
Good is just so sick. Okay. And
that was pretty sick.
You might think I don't mean ill, but I mean, no, in fact, he is quite ill. He is the illest, man. That was,
illest.
That was pretty cool. I don't like, I don't like the Artanis pick, but when you make moves like that, I just look and go, okay. I'm not talking about the grab onto Joker. I'm talking about his dodge there. You see that moment, too, where he walked back to the gate like, I'm ready to go back in. I lived. And then he decided to hearth instead, but that was pretty funny. The keep being down here is a big problem for GG, though. They have 20 now. This game is still, by all means, winnable for GG. And, oh, man, Mighty is really extending over here with Epic not available to Falstad. He could just fly in and gust here. And they're actually coming up right now. Good, gonna use a delayed Prism here. There's a root onto Magi. Will get away, though. Nasang having full energy there. Or hope, I should say. Use the technical term.
Well, still, I think Good has been doing some great swaps in the game. It is not the easiest thing at this level of play to hit that swap. I think he has close to 50% of swap this game, so it's not the worst thing. But Sans goes into Molten Core, but Hooligan actually cancels it. Very nice job, and Hooligan is safe. I think that might have. I don't think that Molten Core could have been like that dangerous, to be honest, because the entire GG team was running away at the time. But still, great cancel there.
Yeah, still nice. Very impressive. The top lane is being pushed right now, which is going to become an issue if they don't deal with that. Because if they have 2 keeps down, they're going to have a problem. That's not the end game keep, so it's not the craziest, but it's definitely a lot of pressure that will be added. Mighty is actually just going to stick together here and look for picks right now. Oh no, GG, don't go to that. Don't go to it's that way. Okay, I was going to say, like, the other teams here, you can actually maybe get a pick on Joker.
Well, Hooligan actually used the Storm and jumped right there. And Artanis just blew up. Great placement of Laser Drill right there. Having also Joker is already onto the back line. Let's see what happens. Hooligans taking some damage, and it is 5v4 right now. GG is just forced back into their base. This could actually be a game-ending decision.
Absolutely. I feel like I think that the move that we saw there, the rotation from GG, was just kind of, they should have been rotating up to grab Joker, because he didn't have Bolt because he used it earlier, and he also used his stage dives at the time it was still on cooldown. They could have tried to get a pick on him and then win a 5v4. Then instead they tried to fight while he was gone, because it was a 5v4 because he wasn't there, but they couldn't get a pick. Artanis died, and that's basically game. Stage dive off cooldown now, and Joker comes in here. Good reactions. I feel like GG has great defense, actually, even with a keep down, but it may just be too much with the Dragon Knight here. Sans is going to right-click on the core. Huge silence here on All of Mighty as well. Or not silence, Sphere.
Well, 21-minute Dragon Knight, he can just burst down that core without a doubt. I think there's just stalling time and trying to take some time, just having, I don't think there's any chance here. Dragon Knight still 28%, 21% left in the core, and Nasang still alive, SDE left, but there goes the core. Game 3 going to Mighty.
This game was anything but clean, though. This is not the game you look back and you go like, oh, we killed it, we outplayed them. They definitely had a nice comeback, but both teams making errors here and there for sure. It was a scrappy game. It was those games you watch and you go, well, I think both teams are really feeling the pressure here. Uncharacteristic mistakes on both sides. I'm really just not a fan of the Artanis pick. We saw a few cool prisms there, but I feel like any other main meta tank would have had a higher impact. You know, I just feel like there were a lot of better options they could have used there in the draft. But we're seeing teams pick up Artanis in that 5th slot a lot, and his win rate goes down now. He's now 5-22. Write that down.
And I think it is basically the last pick, and we say, what do we do? And there's just few last options, not top tier, not god tier, because they're all banned already, or take